Thanks,
Patty.
That was really, really
Oh,
nice.
thank you.
And Patty did the flowers today,
Oh,
which is what she was demonstrating yesterday at the art gallery. Let's see, this month is creativity, ideas, and source. And it's also July, which I think of as Freedom Month with the 4th of July. So I started off the month kind of mulling over freedom. Probably not.
I hear her, but not as loud as maybe.
I'm on here. Now am I on? Now? Nope.
Yeah, that's
There
better.
That's better?
Yeah,
There we go.
that did it, Rick.
Thank you.
He's training me on the sound. He's only told me like 5 or 6 times, and I didn't even know how to turn it on this morning, so I'm trying to take care of it. So freedom made me think when I was really young, you know how you take the test and you're supposed to do your goals and your plans and what you want in life, and they wanted things like career or what colleges you were going to go to or what degrees and stuff, and I wrote down freedom. And for some reason that's always spoken to me my whole life. I wanted to be free, whatever that meant. So we were at the coast with my sibling reunion, first of the month, and we're watching, you know, the Boston Pops on TV, and through the window you can see the fireworks all over the place. And I started thinking about freedom again, and what did freedom really mean? And I'm looking at my siblings, you know, and we all think we're free, but we have OCD, and we have stress, and we have illness, and we have PTSD and Agent Orange, and we have problems with kids, you know, and all of this stuff that's going on. And I'm thinking, well, that's not free, is it? Free would be that you don't have to worry, or you don't have to think about things, that life just flows. So I started thinking about that and taking it a little bit further, you know. So I'm thinking, I started with source, freedom and source. What does that look like? And you think of source and what people want with source, and they talk about enlightenment. And so enlightenment, you usually hear people saying like it's a bliss state, or it's a state where everything's perfect or going on wonderfully, or it's this place where you have all the answers. I mean, there are all these different things about what people think enlightenment is. So I'm going, well, bliss all the time. I'm not sure if I can attain that in this world, you know, and I'm still working on freedom in this world. What does that look like? So I took that further and I go, well, source. We have this belief system that we believe in, and, you know, we're supposed to be in, through, and around source. Is supposed to be working with us all the time, and we're supposed to really have this belief that guides everything we do. But we still got the PTSD and the Agent Orange and the addictions and, you know, this and that and all the issues that go on in daily life. How do you go to work and survive or take care of everything, get your laundry done, if, in fact, being in source is something that's blissful, or maybe not here all the time? You know, you hear people coming out after they've been meditating and they don't remember where time's gone or what they've been through the last few weeks, or the ones that go and, you know, you're a hermit in a cave and you're there all the time. Well, that doesn't work when you have to go to work on Monday. So I was trying to bring these things together. What would true freedom, working with source, look like? So I started, you know, we talk about breathing and expanding in the source. But if I'm source, I'm not going to expand into it because I'm already it, right? So you get these things going back and forth, trying to figure out where you're going or what it means. So what I came up with, for me, the source part of freedom would be a complete immersion in source. So then my mind goes, yeah, but you still got, you know, the addictions and the PTSD and everything else that's going on. So can you be completely immersed in source and still live your life and work with your emotions and work with everything that's going on every day? And then they tell you you're supposed to be in the now moment. Okay, so if I'm in the now moment and I'm putting one foot in front of the other and I'm not thinking about the past or the future, is that immersed in Source. So I'm going back and forth because if you're immersed in Source, I have this idea that things should flow. And then we talk about, a perfect state of being. And you're perfect for wherever you are and what's ever going on. So that means bliss is out the door, right? So there's no bliss, and if I've got to function, that means I can't lose time. I got to be in the now, and I'm going, and I want to be free, but there are all these things I got to do. So I took it a little further, and I'm going, somehow I have to make those come together, or bring it together somehow. So maybe true freedom isn't actually attainable in this world, or what I think a true freedom would be. So then I go, okay, because I got the now moment, and I got to be paying attention to what's going on right now, and I have a class to teach, or a sermon to give, or I need to talk to somebody on the phone, or I need to do all of this, which is my now moment. But when I'm doing that, am I 100% 24/7 immersed in Source? And I keep coming back to that. And I'm not sure the totality of what a true freedom and completely immersed in Source is. So I'm still going back and forth. So I came up with what I call a working definition. So freedom for me might be something like doing my best to be immersed in Source while still being functional in the now moments in this world. That might be attainable, where I could bring them together. So I see them as part of the same thing, but it's the difference between like the big I and the little I. Source is the big I, I'm the little I. So immersion in Source to me would be the big I, but the little I is Sandy getting through every day to the best of my ability. And that made more sense to me. I could work with that and think that maybe I could get some form of this freedom that I want. And maybe that includes all of the freedoms to make mistakes and to learn and to do all of those things. I always think, or I've always thought in the past, that Source was this place, if we were there, that you wouldn't have the emotions maybe, you wouldn't have the different things that we have. But it's a beautiful world we're in with all of these emotions and all of the things we get to do, and when you talk about the creativity and the artist. So it's taking something that's a capital something and then doing the best we can every day, excuse me, as we go through our lives with the ups and downs, to get to a place where we're functioning there, fully focused on what's happening day in and day out, but dealing with it maybe a little bit better. Being able to face it, to not let us throw us so much, to not judge it, or to judge what's going on, or to judge the people, to accept that it does have color, and color has dark and light. It has all different shades, it has pastels, it has jewel colors, all of these different things. It's a beautiful world we have. We can say it's negative, but is it really negative what some of our emotions are, or some of our actions are? If we're here learning and it's a class, you're going to role play. We role play probably every day, taking one side or the other of an equation, the role we're going to get. We all get angry. We all feel love. We all have moments of peace. We have moments where we're overstimulated. We have the ability to have all of these things. So maybe the working definition then becomes as immersed as we can possibly be while enjoying everything this world has to offer. both what we would consider good or negative. I don't know if I could do positive thinking 24/7. I've never been able to attain it myself. So I don't know if it's doable. And if it did, would I be worried? I mean, you think of the old Pollyanna, and somebody that's always saying, oh, put on a happy face, and only say nice things about people, and all of these things, and we're human. Isn't the human experience experiencing? Allowing ourselves to experience. And this doesn't mean you're not supposed to be responsible. This doesn't mean that we don't have respect for other people. Oh, thank you. That we don't have respect. That we don't treat people with courtesy. That we don't follow rules and laws. We do that. But it means that making a mistake is okay. And if Source didn't want us to make mistakes, we probably would have been created differently. Or the world would have been created differently. We wouldn't have been given the opportunity to explore and to experience and to learn and to know. You look at the things that go on in the world, but good things come out of some of those things we think are very badly. And Angie and I were talking this morning, and he brought up the shooting in Charleston. Out of that, they're taking a flag down that was a flag for discrimination. And now a state voted that they're not going to have it at their Capitol or the courthouse or whatever it was anymore. That's a good thing. So, do we sometimes maybe give our lives as we give other things to help an evolution of the consciousness of a people? None of us have the answers, but it's good things to think about, to know ourselves more, to know this world more, to figure out what we really believe, how we really want to act. Maybe some of the things we're learning is how we don't want to act, or how we don't want to believe. When you see some of the things that's in the news, it's horrendous stuff. Think about the minds of those people. It's almost wow. But we learn not to be that way, to be more loving, to be gentler, to be more respectful, to be more of the things that we admire and respect and want our children to grow up to be better role models of how to do those things, to show that there is a different way. The kids are different. We were different from our parents. We don't speak their language most of the time. They have to translate. They laugh at us. But they have things that are good. You see all different races now intermingling in many places. You see more mixed marriages. You see extended families that are inclusive. You see all those things that weren't allowable when we were younger. You see people taking chances to really be independent, to be respectful, to follow their path, whatever that is and wherever that goes. The abilities to cross over into careers that were closed before. The abilities to do things. Maybe this is what true freedom is. The freedom to walk the path, to learn what we're here to learn, whatever that is. We each have a different degree that we're working on. We each have a different curriculum and classes that we're taking. Why should I say my class is better than your class? I'm learning more than you're learning. I don't know any of those things, so how could I judge whether it's good or negative what's going on with you? It's to allow each of us our space. If you get in my face or in my space and I don't like it, I can walk away. I cannot have anything to do with you. I don't need to engage and have a war right here. We start these things by ourselves in our own individual lives, and then when enough are doing it, because people are role modeling it and seeing that it's possible, the world starts doing it. And eventually, we could maybe have a society that's peaceful, not as violent, not as much that going on. But it is a balancing act. And we balance day in and Dave.